Open away folks, and welcome to Gray's Trains. My name is Gray and this is my train. So at the time of recording this I noticed that the Just Trains V2 has now appeared on the Steam store. So I thought I may as well do a little video to cover it and why we enjoy this loco so much. So we're doing the hot and heavy scenario, which is on Woodhead, which is a fantastic route. It's a little bit underrated these days, nobody really seems to cover it. But it's a great route, and if you haven't got it, why haven't you? Go and get it. It's a fantastic route. So I think we should get started. So I'll pause my game. Oh, I wasn't supposed to cross that off. What we need to do is we need to wait for a couple of trains to pass. I've already done this scenario a couple of times before. Oh. There we go. There goes a Tommy. It's a nice loco. Hold on a minute. I need to do researching it. Ah, what are you doing? No. Yeah, I think that this is a express freight. I'll say it's express freight anyway. So express freight, we are looking at. Be a lamp appearing there, but it's not appearing there. That's kind of annoying. Oh well, that'll probably do then. So what have we got that set to? Apparently this is a pick up a branch freight that I've set it to, because I can't actually set it to express general goods. Okay, that's actually irritating. So get into forward gear. Come on, go forward this little train, come on. Handbrake on. Handbrake off. There we go, starting to pull forward now. So yeah, this is the signal that's causing us a little worry at the moment, so might need to adjust the volume in a moment. Right, hopefully you can hear me better. So we need to pull up to that signal, we need to wait for that to clear, and then we can be on our way. I'll just put the clear again. Come on. There we go. Oh, there we go. I can now pass that signal. Set that to running position. Yeah, hopefully in this video you'll be able to see my new graphics a wee bit better than in my race video, but yeah. Yeah, this is quite a hefty train that we're pulling here. We've got an 8F there as well. But yeah, thanks to my new graphics, I can really appreciate a scenario like this, particularly with an engine like this, because the Just Trains V2 is a really well textured loco. It looks fantastic. Absolutely, it does look really good. So So we're just coming through dinting now. So the aim of the scenario is just to stop at Neeps End Up Good. So this is a fairly simple scenario, but there's plenty of AI about. So you just need to keep your eye on the signals and such. Like we're just about to go into a goods loop here. Yeah, this is certainly going to be an episode that Mr. James Wright is going to approve of, because it's a LNER engine, an actual legit LNER engine. Yeah, I do like this loco a lot. I do like the V2. I do spend an awful lot of time driving it because this is obviously the last advanced loco that Just Trains came out with, and it is a really nice loco. It's pretty good to drive, and I'm using it in intermediate mode, so I'd say that's a really good stepping stone for learning how to drive an advanced loco. And of course you've got automatic fireman as well, which controls the injectors and the fire. Not like Bossman Games locos where you can set the trimmers, but you still have to inject yourself. And obviously you've got automatic firing as well. Right, so if I remember rightly, there's a signal up there that we're going to have to slow down for. Yeah, that's the signal. So thankfully this is a fitted train, so we've got brakes across all the axles on our train. Pull up to the signal. And there we go. We just need to let this passenger train crawl past. Let it crawl past silently. Oh, and then it's just decided to bugger off. Okay. I'm not sure if it's possible on this loco, but I know on other Just Trains advanced locos it is possible to blow your cylinders if you don't set the cylinder cocks just so. We've got a loop there. Ooh, that is quite a bad loop. Not sure what that's for, whether that's for the safety valves or for the brakes. Right, I'm going to set my handbrake. Okay, so that was for the brake application. Ooh, shoot. There we go. Right, so that handbrake is a bit weak, isn't it? It's even on. Let's have a look. Oh, there isn't a handbrake. At least I can't see one anyway. Still denied. Ah, there we go. We got another train passing by. So I think we need to wait for that train to go through the station there. I think this is Hadfield. Yep, there we go. So we've got a little bit of train sound in that whistle there. So the sounds aren't absolutely perfect, but that said, given that Green Arrow, the sole surviving V2, has been out of traffic for a wee while. Oh god. Right. Brakes. Right. we got wheel slip. That's not good for business. No, 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 no. Oh. Right, come on. Oh, what grade are we on? We're on a 1 in 100, and I think it's fair to say that... oh god, I need to start applying handbrakes along the train now. There we go. Come on, engine. Come on, engine. Oh, she's really struggling, but there we go. She's starting to pull away now. Come on, engine. Because this engine has got simulated conjugated valve gear in it. So while we're crawling along, if I go in between the frames, you can see the centre con rod there, actuating on the centre cylinder. So the conjugated system, which Gresley devised, means that the centre cylinder, you can just see a little pivoting arm in front of the cylinder there. So that's the slide valve that goes through that cylinder. And you've got these on both sides, and they also admit steam into the centre cylinder as well. So it's quite a compact system, flawed but a very compact system nonetheless. Also, these locos are known for having a monoblock setup where you've got the 3 cylinders that all cast as one unit, which was a revolutionary idea. Again, really good convenience feature, but the reason why Green Arrow is out of traffic is that they have a habit of cracking. So that's why Green Arrow is not going to come back into service anytime soon. Come BR days, when these locos were very worn out and weren't used to the maintenance schedules that they were designed to have, they ended up cracking left, right and centre. So in the end, British Railways had to have separate cylinders cast, and then those were replaced, and the locos, which had these replacement cylinders, had external steam pipes. Yeah, I'm not too sure how they managed to get the sounds for the V2. A big bit of me is half tempted to say that they took them off another 3-cylinder Gresley design, just because of how long Green Arrow's been out of traffic for, obviously being the sole survivor of the class. Which I think is a great shame, because I do like the V2. It's a very interesting concept. It's effectively a Gresley A3, such as Flying Scotsman, only with a shorter boiler and a pony truck instead of a bogie, and I think the driving wheels were also slightly smaller too. And these locos were very successful. They were very widespread across the LNER as mixed purpose machines. They were very, very capable locomotives. They were just at home on a slow slogging freight train, as they were on fast express services. They were named after the Green Arrow overnight, I think it was a fish train, and they were seen all up the East Coast main line, and they were fairly ubiquitous, to be honest. Just a very good all-round locomotive design, especially seeing that at the time the LNER, their books were filled with pre-grouping machines from the North Eastern Railway, the Great Eastern, the Great Northern, which was Gresley's neck of the woods before becoming CME of the LNER. And the North British as well. So you had a great number of locomotives that were pretty antiquated, if we're completely honest. Yeah, I think the V2s must have felt like a breath of fresh air, really, because it was just before the Thompson B1s. I think it was about the same time as the Gresley B17s, which were his only 460 design for the LNER. It would be nice to have a B17 in game. That would be pretty damn cool. And the B1s were effectively B17 rebuilds, because Thompson only really did rebuild, but he mostly rebuilt Gresley machines, or Gresley enhanced machines. So there was the Northeastern Railway B16, for example, first designed by Vincent Raven for the Northeastern Railway. Then Gresley enhanced them. They were 3-cylinder machines from the get-go, but Gresley enhanced it with external Walschaerts valve gear and the conjugated gear to the centre cylinder, rather than the 3 sets of Stephenson's motion that were between the frames. So that was definitely a forward step. Anyway, Thompson came along and gave them 3 sets of Walschaerts on all 3 cylinders, and that's how he rebuilt Gresley machines. He either rebuilt them as 2-cylinder locos, like he did with the K4s, making them into the K1s, and there were some cases where he just got rid of Gresley's conjugated gear, kept them 3-cylinder machines, but gave them 3 separate sets of Walschaerts motion, which you've got to admit, probably not the most practical in terms of lubrication. Not sure what the Gresley system entailed. I mean, obviously you've got that centre link in there, which would require lubrication, but that said, I imagine it's got less points and lubricating all the Walschaerts on the outside. Yeah, it's fair to say that Gresley was a fairly innovative chap. I'm not saying he's the best designer by a long way, because I do feel like his locos were indeed flawed. They were certainly high maintenance and quite complex. Oh, we're going in here now. Oh, and it just so happens we're doing the speed limit. Yeah, we have got a fair bit of a load on, so I can excuse the performance on this engine, but wow, just look how pretty this route is. Just stunning. The run up to Woodhead from this end is a great looking part of the route. It certainly is. Right, we're starting to pick up speed now. And we're now finally speeding. I decided to wait till the 15 limit before we picked up speed. Yeah, you have to be patient for the automatic fireman with this loco. I call him Bob. My automatic fireman is called Bob. And he's a pretty competent fireman, but only when the engine's like properly underway. For the most part, he tends to inject at the worst possible times, but nonetheless, he seems to be doing a decent job today. There we go. Oh yeah, now we're really picking up speed now. The cab of this loco is nice as well, and we've got some lamps there, which I think... Oh, we got a lamp rather, which I think I'll leave on for the... Whoa, hello. I'll leave that on for the tunnel. We got our AWS there. Note this little warning here. When the regulator closed at speed exceeding 25 miles per hour, the gear must be put at 25% cut off, right? Take heed, because otherwise you will blow the centre cylinder, and we're slowing down again? Oh, because our wheels are slipping. Yeah, this engine loves to slip. If you haven't been able to tell already. So all the speed that we just gained, we've now just lost because of the wheel slip. Right, are we going to accelerate? No, we're decelerating actually. There we go. So I managed to get the wheel slip under control, but unfortunately we lost quite a fair bit of speed, so now we've got to regain that back up. So this is definitely one of the more challenging scenarios because Woodhead is quite hilly, so you certainly need to be quite patient with what you're doing here. You need to be gentle on the reg, gentle on the reverser. The reverser is quite slow to act, and in advanced mode it's the opposite, so it's sort of like the G2A, the G2 rather, where you would do like where in the case of this engine W does minimising the cutoff to reverse, and S does maximising cutoff to forward. But intermediate mode, it's more conventional, which is why I think that this is a good loco to start with if you want to get the hang of driving an advanced loco, because of course you've got all the modes there. Yeah, let's get this mother up to speed. Yeah, this route is just super pretty. It does look really good. I mean, this route came out back in 2012, so this is about 8 years old, this route, but it still holds up today. I mean, the track is rather letting the side down, but pretty much everything else is generally very good. By the way, I'm just using the B whistles. So if we go in the cab, it has got a quillable whistle, I believe. So there we go. So it goes really high pitched. Which is just about normal, like in the other one. Oh yeah, and they are simulated in the external view too. Of course, with an advanced loco, we've got sliding windows, which again simulated the external view. Opening cab sheets. Oh, hello, we're starting to slip again. So we just reduce the cutoff. There we go. Now we've got traction, but doesn't it look good? It's a great looking loco. It's one reason why I'm such a big fan of the V2, because they just look great, and this model really captures the essence of the class really well. It even includes the name variations, and you access the names just by changing the number. So a few of these locos were named, not many. I think in total 8 of them were named. And yeah, you just get those names by just choosing the riding number. That's it. Very straightforward, very simple, very much like what Victory Works do on some of their Great Western 460s, for example. It's a very good system and it works very well. It's very simple. You just need to know the name of the well, the number of the loco, pretty much. There you go. Oh, we've got a nice little lake there. That's really pretty. Do we have reflections? Oh yeah. Oh, but of course, one little glitch with TS is that lofts don't appear in reflections, which makes bridges very good fun anyway. Ugh, Bob's injecting again. It almost seemed like Just Trains was starting to set like a particular schedule with these, or a particular pattern. We had 4 BR standard locos, and it looked as though we were about to get 4 LNER locos, I would have personally loved to see, given the Gresley theme that they were going for, Gresley 3-cylinder theme, I would personally like to see either a V1 or a V3 tank. That would have been pretty damn cool. I would have really liked to see that. Other locos I would have probably liked to see, again probably keeping up with the 3-cylinder theme, maybe a B17, a K3, but that said we already had the K4 Mogul, but yeah, like a B17 460 3-cylinder loco, that would have been pretty cool. Maybe a more up-to-date version of the Thompson B1. That's still a loco I would quite like to see, a more up-to-date Thompson B1, because the old model is starting to show its age a little bit. Particularly in the sounds department, it just doesn't sound as good as some of the more modern DLC that we've had recently. Obviously the way that the sounds are now, the fact that you have particular loops for when the loco was actually running at speed and how it would change depending on what speed you were doing, whereas the B1 still uses the old system of one chuff just sped up the faster you go. Which to me just kind of ruins it a little bit. And also the fact that with the B1 you only had one model, and that was for BR livery, when the class emerged right at the tail end of LNER Steam, so it is a shame there's a lack of variety, and the fact that particular liveries you have to get reskins for, which in my case don't always work. It's very much a case with the Robinson 04 or Great Central 8K. Thankfully one of those has been redone, and I do intend to do a video on the 8K at some point. Leave a comment down below if you guys think that I should do a coverage on the Robinson 8K. We'll see what we do. Do you want to see the Great Western variation of it, or do you want to see it in full LNER, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Right, so we're just about to go into a tunnel, so... Oh, I say a tunnel. This is the Woodhead Tunnel. Let's whistle. Okay. We've got a lamp, do I actually? Don't really need a lamp, do I? It's fairly bright in here. There we go, Bob's put the injectors on again. And we're blowing off, so it's a perfect time to put the injectors on. Because of course you're wasting steam in the atmosphere. So putting the injectors on, bring the generation rate down, effectively cooling the water down, but you're wasting less water. Fundamentally. There we go. The SSS sounds really do help with the wagons, because yeah, they work on the default Coogee wagons as well as the Woodhead wagons and coaches and such. Good sound pack, definitely. Well, good sound packs. The coach and wagon sound packs. They're very, very good. Well worth your money. Yeah, we've got a slightly broken loft there. Yeah, this route all in all holds up very, very well. The V2 itself, honestly a great loco. What's my particular favourite variant of this loco? BR Line Black. It just looks so good. Unfortunately there are no scenarios for BR Line Black. You do get all the major variants of this class though. So all the named locos you get, most if not all the liveries, covering from LNER Apple Green, both versions, both Doncaster and Darlington Green. You also get Wartime Black, which can also be used, I believe it can also be used for plain black and indeed transitional livery too. They make a lot of effort with the numbering. So for example the tender, if you change the number on that, you can make that wear say, an early crest, for example, which is very, very good. You can change what types of cylinders the Loco had, whether it had the monoblock, such as this one does. You can change it whether it has these covers removed. You can have it where you've got the 3 separate cylinders as well. There's loads of variation available just with the Loco number. Also, we're passing a signal box in Woodhead Tunnel, and yes, that genuinely was a thing, a signal box in the tunnel. I think it was closed at some point before the 50s though, so I'm not sure, but obviously because it's part of the tunnel, probably didn't demolish it. Yeah, we're now starting to pick up speed at a fairly rapid rate. We're now up to 46.4 miles per hour, and we're still accelerating. We're still climbing as well. I have to watch my speed, of course, because obviously the fact that this Loco slips as well, it applies when you're braking. So you can make, so this engine will skid if you're a little bit too heavy-handed with the brakes. Bob is shoveling in the tunnel, or at least he was. He's stopped now. Oh, also, this whole unit round here, that all hinges open as well. I'm not going to demonstrate that because the automatic fireman doesn't like that, but yeah, it will do it. There we go. I think we've levelled out. Well, nearly anyway. Oh, I'm speeding actually, so slow the heck down. Yeah, we really do need to slow the heck down, don't we? So we'll go down to 17 inches. This isn't a career scenario, by the way. As far as I'm aware, there's no career scenarios with this Loco. But I'm not sure about the steam release. Right. Down to 15 inches. Yeah, because we are speeding now. Quite alarmingly, actually. Oh dear. Yeah, now it's slowed down to a 30 limit and we're still speeding. So we've still got 17 miles to go, but we're making good progress now. There we go. Right, so let's release the brakes. Even with releasing the brakes, you have to watch the what are the inches on there, because it will go above 22. I'm one of those people that believes that 21 inches is enough. So I've just realised what I just said. 21 inches is enough. Well, that's the title for this video anyway. Right, if I remember rightly, we're coming up to 25 here. Whoa, careful with the brakes. Oh, and we've just suddenly had a date shift and we've got a biome issue there. Yeah, see, we've gone up to 22.2 inches. Nah, 21's enough. 21 inches is plenty, for anybody's standards. I mean, I don't know, I'm just a simple guy. Again, let me know in the comments below. Is 21 inches enough for you? We've got some clear signals ahead. Oh, well, I think we're watching a light engine move. Wow, that is a heavy haul you got there, matey. That is a considerably heavy haul. Are you sure you can? Are you sure you can take that much? Whoa, it's empty as well. Probably off the maintenance, I imagine. Oh, it's a 15 limit, and it didn't tell me. Woodhead is cheeky for that. But this Loco is very rewarding to drive. It gives you an abundance of power when you need it. I certainly would recommend using the automatic fireman. Not because it's an easy cheat or anything, but if you're just getting the hang of advanced locos, then it's a good way to start anyway. It is a good way to start. It is such a shame that Just Trains didn't do more, especially seeing that when they finished this loco, it wasn't quite finished. There is an annoying problem with the V2, and that is the collision box is wrong. As in, they've either got the coordinates wrong or they've made it way too long, but long and short of it is you can't put this engine on a turntable, and nor can you use the front coupling. The collision box is considerably in front of the loco, so if you try coupling up to anything on the front, you're just going to be shunting wagons out of the way before you even have the chance to couple, which is annoying. And again, with turntables, you can't put this on a turntable and spin it around because it's the turntable's like, whoa, hold on, your engine's way too big. It doesn't matter what position you put it in, you can't spin this around on a turntable. So scenario wise, you're going to have to be quite ingenious with working your way around that. So either setting it up with a train properly or something along those lines anyway. Yeah, it is irritating. So you can't have a pilot engine in front on a double header. You can't do any of that. You're kind of stuck. Other little things I do like the fact that this loco has a working tender scoop, which is very good. I've been playing on the East Coast Main Line and Cambridgeshire lines, which obviously is a big long route, and of course it's very handy to be able to pick up water along the way. So with one of these on that route, theoretically you can do that non-stop from London to York. And the only nuisance with Woodhead is that on a freight scenario such as this, where obviously you're doing a slower speed limit than passenger trains, is that you can't really utilise the speed that this loco is capable of. I'm not sure if this loco is quite capable of hitting the ton. I don't think I've brought it up there yet, but I can certainly hold it around the 70-80 mile per hour mark, so it is pretty sprightly. It's certainly fast enough for what you need anyway. I do also like the fact that running position, it is just one tap on the apply key to set it to running from released. That I really like. I do appreciate that in this. The brakes are pretty easy to modulate, so yeah, all in all, it's a good engine to drive. It's really nice to drive, and it looks this good as well. I mean, this is the thing, you get, if anything, showing it on dynamic lighting doesn't really do the loco justice, because it looks pretty much this good just without dynamic lighting. Though obviously you don't get the shadow underneath, and if you're on a lower end machine you don't get the frames, but all in all it's a very good loco to drive. Very, very good. Very comprehensive pack. You get loads of AI as well. You get an AI version of the Just Trains A4, as well as the standard 4 Mogul and the standard 5 too. So you get AI versions of those, which means that populating a scenario is very good. The best example with this loco is if you look at oh, we've got some lighting going on there. Yeah. Yeah, the best example would be playing some of the scenarios in Weardale Teesdale, where a lot of those locos are used. Right, so we're just coming up to Penistone. Remember kids, 21 inches is enough. Right, we've got a 25 limit coming up anyway. Now remember what I was saying about the cut-off. If you look at my F5 HUD, you'll see that I have my cut-off set to 23%. So I know I'm perfectly safe to coast above 25 miles per hour. Oh, hello. We've got an amber. Are we changing lines? Yeah, I think we are. I'll change it to a goods line. And then we're going to go up to Willey Bridge. Who came up with these names, honestly? We've got Willey Bridge, which is just outside Penistone. Hold on. Willie Bridge, outside, if I find the sign. Someone named that place like that. I think it's just a case of Yorkshire sense of humour. I used to think that Penistons in Yorkshire. It might be in Derbyshire actually. The Penistons looking quite bare. I would certainly do more episodes of Grace Trains on this on the Woodhead route, but there's one major annoyance with using this route, which is that the dispatch is pretty terrible, if I'm completely honest. It is really difficult to get the route to respond the way you like. Oh, come on. It says BJ. This is we've entered Innuendo Corner. Other things that I don't like about the V2. I've already mentioned about the collision box. That's annoying. That is straight up annoying and really should be fixed. Because it is just stupid. The fact you can't use the front coupling, you can't go on a turntable. There's one scenario where you have to use the front coupling and you can't. And it's just annoying. Another thing as well is that some of the textures aren't that good. Like some of the decal textures. I mean, look at the British Railways emblem on the tender. Hold on, let's actually go to the tender view. Here you can see how it's very blurry, which it doesn't look all that professional, if I'm completely honest. But God, this is still such a handsome loco. Yep, we've got a 15 limit coming up. So we need to slow the heck down. It's a very purposeful, handsome machine. And I think that's why I like the V2 so much. I'm not a big fan of the V4s, and I'm kind of irritated as well because I think it's the A1 Steam Trust. I'm not sure, I can't remember entirely. But after they've done Cock of the North, they're going to build a V4. Why? It's basically a smaller V2, and I think the proportions are just that bit more awkward. I would much prefer the. Apparently, after they've done the V4, they're then going to do. Oh, wrong way. There we go. After they've done the V4 rather, they're going to do a V1 or V3, one of the two anyway. Which, to be honest, I'd much rather they did one of those first. A mainline ready tank engine, like what they're doing with the new build G5. That would be really special. A proper suburban tank like that on the mainline. So we've taken a leisurely cruise up. We've taken a leisurely cruise through Penistone. We've cautiously crossed over onto BJ Main, and we're now accelerating through Willie Bridge. Someone named these things this way. And because we've been coasting for so long, the fireman's neglected the fire, but I can see that he's remedying that. Bob is on the case. He's sorting the fire out. In fact, already already he's got our steam generation up. The smoke textures look great. They really do look very smart, very good. It's just such a good engine. It's just a shame that they didn't finish it properly. Oh, hello. We are speeding up a bit fast, so slow the heck down. We're only supposed to be doing 40 apparently. As soon as we've entered this tunnel here, we can then accelerate up to 50. Oh, or rather here. Yeah, I would say with the tunnel actually. Such a handsome machine, really is. It's a shame that I haven't had the chance to see a V2 in Steam. Whether I'll actually get another chance, well, that remains to be seen, to be honest. Let's put the camera here, and we can appreciate the lovely silhouette. Oh, there we go, it's fixed itself. Yeah, we'll position our camera here, we can appreciate our engine, with this beautiful engine against the beautiful scenery, with my new beautiful graphics. I'm a very happy boy right now. One of my favourite routes with one of my favourite engines. And it's, yeah, it makes me very happy. Yeah, I'm very happy indeed. And this is what I like about Train Simulator. When I talk to people about Train Simulator, they first of all go, oh, that's quite sad. And then there's other people who go, oh, isn't that game where you spend like £2,000 on DLC and whatnot? And I say, and this is the point where I say, stop viewing Train Simulator as something where you have to buy all the DLC. You don't have to buy all the DLC. You just buy what you want and make up, like, it's a platform for building your own game. I think that's the more accurate way to describe Train Simulator. You don't have to buy every last bit. It's like with Lego. You don't have to buy every single Lego set or every single Meccano set, or even with model railways. You don't have to buy every single loco. You just buy the ones what you want, and it's very much the same case here. Think of this as model railways. Just the concept's a bit more modernised and it's a bit more realistic in a way. It's realistic physics-wise anyway, and you got the sounds as well. And the fact that these locos, I mean, even an advanced loco like this is still cheaper than double-O gauge modelling in any stamp case. But that said, I think double-O gauge modelling is actually gradually reaching the point where it's going to outprice 16mm gauge live steam pretty soon. And to be honest, double-O gauge model railways has left me rather cold, particularly with the newer releases. The newest engine I bought was the Bachmann 6400 pannier. Lovely engine, absolutely lovely. I can't fault it on its detail or the way it runs or anything. It's a very, 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 very good loco. There we got approval ahead. But I've got an older 8750 pannier. Which it doesn't really have as much definition with the cab detail, but it does everything that the 6400 does, and it's got sprung buffers, and it was 50 quid for a brand new model, whereas the 6400 pannier was £74. I paid £74 for it, and it just wasn't as good. You know, for what I wanted, it was about the same. It did nothing any differently to the A750. And both locos were DCC ready as well, so, you know, it's not like I was losing anything by having the A750. And then there's also things like the Dapol Class 22. That was by far my biggest disappointment, because I bought that loco. I mean, when that was announced, I looked at the specs, and obviously I really liked the way the thing looked. And when I was a kid, I was like, when that was announced, I was like, I am so buying that when that comes out. As soon as that comes out, I'm buying one. And eventually, it was my birthday in 2012. I think it was 2012 anyway. My birthday in 2012, I had some money, and I went and treated myself to a loco that I've been looking forward to buying. And I went to a model shop in Ayr during college lunch break. It was in the window. I bought it, and I put it out in the box, and I took it out of the box, and I looked at the detail, and I was quite impressed at first. Then I put it on the track, and I just sort of went, you know what, this loco has a magnesium chassis. It has a super creep motor. It has cab lighting. It has all the lighting features you could possibly want. It has a 21-pin DCC, capacity for 21-pin DCC decoder. It's got proper cab detail. It looks great. And do you know what I thought? What does this do differently to my Helgen Class 26? And then I realised, not a great deal. It's just, modern models just leave me so cold. They pay so much money for a model that you could buy from yonks ago, which would have cost you like at least half the price, but you're not getting more model for it. You're getting about the same, if not less, and that's really why I can't really abide by 00 gauge modelling anymore. As much as that's good. Whoa, hello. Yeah, I'm skidding. So I certainly want to do more in terms of 16mm, certainly. So yeah, one thing I definitely want to do this year is do more in terms of 16mm modelling with Gray's trains. If you guys would like to see that, again, comment below. Do you want to see me wrestle with 16mm? That said, it's less a case of wrestling and more a case of really enjoying it because it's a really good tactile scale. I'd much rather spend my money on 16mm than 00 because you just get more for your money, frankly. Especially seeing, like, say, the new Batman bird cages that cost, what, 70 quid each for a coach in 00 gauge. You could buy a coach in 60. You can buy a coach cage at 16mm for that money. Yeah, sure, you have to build the thing, but you know, you're buying a model which is more than double the size. Enough said, really. Enough said. Okay, so we're now 5 miles away from our destination, so I think we should just enjoy the scenery, enjoy the ride. Oh, God, this engine is so handsome! BR green, this engine does look very nice, but I think I genuinely do prefer the black. Don't get me wrong, this is a very nice livery on a very nice loco. But BR black just... I think it's because we've seen Green Arrow obviously wearing BR line green, and by the way, yes, there are Green Arrow models of this loco with all the burnished features and everything, but you can identify one of these workaday models, one of these workaday locos like Green Arrow, and it will have the Green Arrow name and everything. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing, the fact that you can represent Green Arrow in all stages of her life, which I think is really cool. Right, so slow down a bit. We just need to coast pretty much. Now we're going downhill, we just need to coast. Oh, we've still got a bit of rod clank, if you listen. Yeah, with this lighting, on this route, with this livery, I'm very, very happy. Very happy indeed. It's a great looking loco. Really good looking engine. It's kind of annoying because no one talks about Just Trains Advanced stuff anymore, and no disrespect to Chris Wilson at all, by the way. I think it's because he's sort of taken a bit more of the limelight because of the fact that he's been able to come up with such a great variety of locos in such a short space of time. Bear in mind that he only started releasing locos back in 2017, 2018, there or thereabouts, I think. Started off with the Sterling single, which by the way is now freeware. Yeah, freeware, the Caledonian single, which I showed off in the second episode of Grey Strains. That is now freeware. And I think I probably will have to cover another Caledonian Works like engine properly at some point, but yeah, because I've got a fair amount. But yeah, the fact that he's been doing it for such a short space of time. I bought this loco back in 2016, the V2. It's actually a long time ago now. This is a now 4-year-old model, and it's still a bloody good model. Still really, really good. I think the price for it is about in par with the Caledonian Works product. You get a lot for your money though, don't get me wrong, you do get a lot for your money. I'm not sure what the Steam price is, so I can only tell you how much I paid for it. I think I paid something like 15 quid for it, I'm not sure. Can't remember. It's been a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, I've driven this loco loads of times and I really, really like it. It really captures the prototype very, very well. It looks brilliant, looks perfect. It's a good looking engine. Looks good, sounds good, performs great, and the perfect engine to start off driving advanced locos with. So we're nearly at our destination now. Yeah, Woodhead's certainly a good route as well. This route, this engine, this weather as well. Just absolutely perfect. Really makes me really, really happy. Makes me a very happy wedge. I am a wedge of happiness right now. We've got a little bit of brake rub sounds as well. Very subtle, but you can hear them for sure. Very simple scenario this, but definitely a bit of a challenge. This one's good play. So as I said, this is hot and heavy, this scenario. Oh no, I'm speeding again. I've been doing a lot of speeding in this scenario. I do apologise. Okay, that was a fun reverb sound effect. God, that old Woodhead towed brake van has not aged well, has it? And Bob's put the injectors on as well. Right. Okay, so there we go, guys. That is my look at the V2, which is now available on the Steam store for DLC for Train Simulator 2020. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that malarkey. If you guys want to see more, let me know in the comments below. If you have any particular requests, then again, let me know and I'll see what I can do. There's no guarantee I'll be able to do it, but I'll certainly give it a try anyway. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you again with the next one. Toodly Pipski.